Yo Yoda, everybody, how are we all doing? And this is going to be my movie review for the new Venom Let There Be Carnage movie. So let's just get right into it. Number one, I thought it was actually a pretty decent movie. I thought it was a pretty decent movie. It wasn't the best movie in the world, and since they have Carnage in the movie, and Carnage is like the brutal serial killer symbiote, then it kind of putting him in PG-13 kind of messed him up. But I think that he was pretty brutal without having the gore and blood. It just could have been so much better with the it could have been so much better with gore. And I really wish that they would have just done what Once Upon a Deadpool did. Deadpool 2 came out, it was rated R, and it was gory, and it was violent, and it had language, and nudity, and all that other shit. And then they had Once Upon a Deadpool that didn't have as much language, cut out nudity, cut out all most of the blood and stuff like that. I don't know why they couldn't have just done that for both Venom movies. But it was better than the first one, okay? Because I think that Woody Harrelson did a great job playing Cletus Cassidy. I don't really know who could have done him better. He was so good as the character. The acting was great. I thought Carnage also looked really cool. But he sounded so stupid, in my opinion. Now this is I'm gonna get into spoilers in just a second, but not yet, so don't click off yet. But I really did like the movie. It had some really cool scenes and some really cool things that happened in the movie. But one of the things I didn't like, which so many movies are doing this year, like most of the movies I've reviewed have done this, everything was happening fast. Not as bad as the last movies I've watched, so not as bad as like Godzilla vs. Kong, but after a while everything started to just get all, oh, that happened. Oh, hey, look, that's happening. Oh, hey, alright, that was pretty cool. Yeah. But Carnage, he looked really cool. I loved the way Carnage looked, and I like how you can kind of see how he still had that black outline in the beginning and then eventually became all red near the end. That was really cool. And it was really interesting. It had a cool fight scene. I did like the fight scene, so it was a pretty cool fight scene. But actually, if you want me to be honest, the final fight was perfect. It was absolutely perfect, because with their symbiotes, how in the world could there have been blood? There would have just been symbiotic red and black goo going everywhere, because that's what symbiotes are. They're like the blobs. So, yeah, but I really thought it was really cool, and I loved the ending. And I just think that everything, it was way better than the first one, and I think it's definitely a must-see, because it was a pretty good movie. I just really wish that it was rated R, because it could have had so much more into the movie, more time, and it just could have been so much better. I would have loved to see what this movie would have been. See, the first Venom movie, I know that Venom was probably brutal in the comics, but I didn't really mind the first one being PG-13, but this one, Carnage is a really messed up person in the Marvel comics. And so that's why I was kind of upset seeing him do what he did in this movie. He was pretty cool, but nowhere near as bad as how he was in the comics. But Woody Harrelson did do a really good job playing the character. Really sitting there like there. Alright, this is kind of a spoiler, but not really. But you had a warning. There was this scene whenever Carnage broke him out of prison, or out of him being doing the lethal injection, and Carnage started talking to him while he was driving in a car, and he's like, "You're real, aren't you? You're not just in my head." And I really loved that scene, and how so I thought it's definitely a pretty good movie, but it would have been better R. Now I'm going to get into some spoilers. Okay, here I go. That post-credit scene was the most awesomest post-credit scene I've ever seen in the humans' history. I cannot believe that they're finally bringing Venom into the MCU. That just warms my soul. That is so awesome. I am so excited to see where they're gonna go. I don't think he's gonna make an appearance in No Way Home. I would actually rather him not make an appearance in No Way Home, because I would totally rather just see a Venom versus Spider-Man solo film. I just think it would have been a lot better. for them to have a solo film. But I cannot believe that they're actually bringing Venom into the MCU. I did not expect that at all. And I'm just really, really excited about that. But that's, there was something else that was in the movie that was really stupid. I thought that Carnage just sounded retarded. Like, there was this, if you've seen the movie already, you know what I'm talking about. That one scene, he was sitting there like, "This is all for you, father." And it's so stupid, making me like a Star Wars out here. And I just thought that that was so lame. It was just dumb. I don't know why they did that. It was so really stupid. And Carnage didn't even have that many lines. But he was pretty cool. I did like Carnage, and I like how near the end of the movie, how it's like, hey, they're not symbiotic. They don't want to be together. Carnage wants control over the whole thing, and I just thought that was really, really cool. How they basically used that to their advantage. But man, that PG-13 rating took so much of this movie away and threw it in the trash. I would have loved to see Carnage. Like, I heard of some of the things he did in the comics, and I would never want the movie to be that bad. I would want it to be pretty bad, but not too bad. Maybe like Dr. Sleep kind of bad. That's the kind of bad I would be looking for. Because Dr. Sleep was a pretty freaking messed. Had that messed up scene whenever they were killing that kid to like absorb his steam or whatever. I would have wanted it to be maybe about that bad, but it wasn't, and the PG-13 rating took so much away from the movie. I thought the Venom versus Carnage fight scene was pretty interesting. It was pretty cool. I did like the Venom versus Carnage. Something else I didn't like though, they had one fight and it lasted like 20 minutes. Venom and Carnage came in contact with each other once. Now, Eddie and Cletus Cassidy came in contact with each other 3 times, but that's not fair. That's just dumb. Why in the world would the fight scene with the two, I can understand the other movie, like if they were trying to introduce multiple different symbiotes. So like let's say for the first movie, let's say Carnage was in it, and then let's say Riot was in it, and Venom was in it, and whatever are the other symbiote, Lasher, I think that's a green symbiote. Let's say all of that. That would have been different. I wouldn't have really cared. But this was one symbiote versus another. Just 2 characters. 2 main characters. Unless you want to count his weird girlfriend, Shriek. So I just wish that there was a little more action with the characters. I really wish that there was more... that Carnage and Venom had fought more. Maybe made the final fight a little longer, or maybe had like a mini fight and made Venom lose, and then Carnage leaves him for dead or something. I don't know, but I think the actor that played Shriek, I think that she did a really good job. I just think it was really, really cool. I just really wish that it was rated R. That's my biggest complaint. But yeah, it's definitely a must-see movie. That post-credit scene, now knowing that Carnage is in the MCU and that he's gonna one day go up against Spider-Man, that is so freaking awesome, and I'm so excited to see where they're gonna go from here. I'm really, really hoping to get a new No Way Home trailer soon, because, you know, I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't yet, because the movie comes out in December, and it's about, I think it's like, yeah, it's like October 2nd. Yeah, no, it's October 3rd. But I really, really hope that you guys enjoyed the movie. And comment down below, what did you think of the movie? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was dog shit? Did you think it was a god tier movie? I'm just gonna say it was decent, but it could have been better. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll be back because Far Cry 6 comes out in 3 days, so be looking forward to that video. Peace out, guys.